meteorologist Matthew Harding.
Forgot that I can put my headphones on.
Hello, Raleigh, North Carolina. Hello. We are in for a show today. You are listening to the RDU live show on Oak 93.5 WRLY.
Like a beauty queen from a movie
Giving you a little bit of a
Said I don't mind, but what do you mean?
a test of what we got going on. Yeah, I got a special guest today. Something special for you today. This is Cameron McCarty, your host for the evening. You're listening to the RDU Live Show on Oak 93.5 WRLY, and we have a show for you. We're on every Tuesday at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. So if you're driving down the road and you're listening to us in your car or you're tuned in online, I appreciate you. Go ahead and lock in with us for the next hour. We have a very, very special guest with us today. I gave you just a little bit of a preview right there, something we had that's coming up a little bit later in the show. A very special guest. We have Mr. Adam Lee Decker in with us today. Adam, how you doing?
How you doing? I'm so happy to be here, man. Thanks for having us. It feels really good to be here right now, hanging out.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm so happy to have you in here. Adam has some chops on him. He has some chops on him. We're going to get into exactly who he is and what he's been doing in just a second. I'm just kind of teasing you just a little bit. Adam, once again, I appreciate you for being here with us today.
I'm happy to be here, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So we're going to start the top of the show off with something here. As we always do, if you've been listening to the show, if you've been following us, we always start the show off with something that's going on in the world or in the community today. And I just wanted to start this one off really quick with what's going on over in the Middle East for us really quick. We all know that, well, some might not know, but over in Israel, there are some things happening that, it's kind of disturbing. Let's just say it like that. And I just wanted to call attention to it. So if you are listening and you don't know what's happening over in Israel, over in the Middle East right now, go ahead and look it up. I'm not going to go too deep into it. I'm not going to trying to drain that topic. But I just want to call attention to it. Our brothers and sisters over in the Middle East are kind of going through some things. And if you're not familiar with that topic, go ahead and look into it. Just CNN, Google, however you get your news. Just kind of stay abreast and keep people in your thoughts and in your prayers and on your mind. The next one is a little more local. That is a direct correlation to the guest I have today. The Canes, the Hurricanes. If you're a sports fan in the area or not, you know that we have a team here. And the hometown team is the Carolina Hurricanes. And they've been having some preseason games, and now the season is about to start up. And the reason I'm bringing this up specifically is because we have someone special in the studio, Adam Lee Decker, and he does something very special for the Canes. Hey, Adam, what do you do for the Canes?
Since 2017-18, I've been able to sing a lot of their anthems and just be a part of that whole community. And more importantly, do the playoff anthems and be able to be a part of that, like I said, community, and just, really just be handed something really, really awesome to be able to do for the community, and just, be able to, and for all of our veterans and everybody, in and all that stuff. It's a really exciting thing to do, truly.
So you're singing the anthem, and I've seen that you do some like intermission type stuff sometimes. Can you tell the people about that a little bit?
Yeah. So, the coordinators there, and that we're able to, take the band that I have right now, the trio that I've been working with, and they've been more than gracious to give us opportunities to be able to play the intermissions at a couple of games.
Wow,
which is awesome.
Wow, so we have a local celebrity, and we haven't even gotten to all the topics. We're about to get there right now. So we're starting off with the Canes. You sing the anthem at the Canes, and you do some performances there. So we're going to talk about how you got there. So let's back on up. This is Adam Lee Decker in studio with us today. Let's back up and how you got your start. So are you from the area? Are you from Durham or Raleigh, the RDU area? How did you get here first?
Yeah, I came down here on an 11-month a cappella contract, actually, with the United Arts Council in Raleigh. But originally from the central New York, like near Syracuse, a place called Cortland, New York.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved down here in 2008.
You moved down here in 2008.
Yep.
Was it for music?
It was for music. It was an 11-month music contract that turned into, a wife and 2 kids at this point. So.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
wow!
yeah,
So I'm learning something new.
Exactly.
I'm learning something
and
new.
that's skipping a little bit, but that's where we are now. So.
Yeah. So you come down here, 11-month contract.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get into any kind of bands or anything like that during that time?
Yeah, we just kind of felt the area coming off of America's Got Talent and doing that stuff with my other band, which we'll talk about soon, the a cappella group. I just kind of made a transition down here when things started to change pace up north, and I just wanted to be warmer specifically. So I had a couple bandmates that are a cappella bandmates that were like, "Hey, come on down. We have some shows. We got some gigs coming up. We'd love for you to be a part of the team." And haven't left. I've been home to see everybody, but I haven't thought about going back home since.
So you just dropped something right there. We might be jumping around timelines, but you just dropped a big nugget right there. You said something about America's Got Talent,
Yeah,
right?
America's Got Talent. Yeah,
something we may have heard of. Can you talk about that one just for a second?
Sure.
You dropped it.
Sure,
Now you got to talk about it.
It's good. My a cappella group called The Fault Line. Check them out. You can check any. It's called The Fault Line. We have an album that's on all streaming capabilities right now. But yeah, we auditioned for America's Got Talent in 2007, eons ago, and ended up making the top 20, which was really, really great. Running around, we had come all night from a show out west, I say out west, like Ohio.
Okay, yeah.
And then traveled that Sunday where they were having the auditions in Boston, and we traveled through the night and we got out there and turned some heads, and yeah.
So let's park here just for a second.
Sure.
So talk to us about that journey. Most people, 99% of the world, will never get that opportunity.
Oh, of course.
For America's Got Talent. How was that? Did you all just decide to go, and how does that work?
Yeah, sure. So as a gigging a cappella group, we were just looking for another outreach, another to do, something like kind of the next phase, because we were doing a lot of the collegiate circuit, and we were doing a lot of school shows with incorporation, like high school shows, elementary schools, middle school shows, things like that. And we all just kind of just took the plunge, and we're like, why don't we just audition for reality television? And that one just kind of landed correctly in our timeline as far as what made sense for us at the moment, and it was just kind of there. So it was just, it was great. It was awesome.
And you said The Fault Line, right? What kind of genre is The Fault Line? So I'm
Sure.
kind of giving people a precursor here.
Yeah.
You're multifaceted. What kind of genre was The Fault Line?
Yeah, so we were kind of all over the map. What destroyed us was trying to go full heavy rock, which was fun, but we were just too early for our time. But before that, just kind of a lot, as something as classic as My Girl, or something as obscure as the Postal Service, or something in between with some Michael Jackson, some country tunes like that, just kind of all over the map, acapellically, if you will. I'll make a word up.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
And is that what kind of got you to America's Got Talent?
Just basically, to get on the show, we actually sang Some Kind of Wonderful.
Okay.
So, it just was kind of, like I said, we turned heads, and that was the audition. During the time was David Hasselhoff, Piers Morgan, and Sharon Osbourne back in season 2.
Yeah.
So
Early
cool.
on in that thing, man. Early on.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's amazing, man. That's amazing to have somebody on. Man, you're a legit celebrity, my man. You're a legit celebrity,
Yeah, man, it's good to be here.
I'm humbled, man. I'm humbled. I appreciate you. So you do The Fault Line, you do America's Got Talent. Where do we go? Where do we go from there?
Sure. So that, we actually, I actually have queued up the song that actually got us to the top 20. But after that, we ended up just kind of doing just kind of national touring, as far as the kind of up the coast, down the coast, from Central New York, and then across the country for other types of competitions, and also just hosting a cappella conventions and like, that kind of thing.
Yeah, because so I've always wondered. I've always had that question of like, when people go onto the America's Got Talent or the different shows, like what happens after that? When you have that success in your group, that's what happens?
Sure. Well, like in that moment, you have everybody backing you and all these types of things that can happen for. Basically like a huge community and crew around you, and then like you get that national glance, and then all of a sudden like you need to have your email ready or your website ready because then things will start to flood in, which is neat from the actual company of America, like what 19 Entertainment I think is it doesn't matter, but whatever company is America's Got Talent, like when they kind of like take you out of the ship, like get voted off, you're kind of sitting on the raft and the waters are still moving, but you got to move them yourself as far as like what's going to happen next. Unfortunately we didn't go farther after the top 20. We were booted after that. But like I said, it did.
But the phone starts ringing though.
Phone starts ringing, and like good success cross country for like 2 years. Just kind of mixing and mingling with things we used to do, and then being able to like open up for like things like Frankie Valli and like I guess as far as things like that, and just like going to be able to like go to the major a cappella summits all across the country.
Wow.
And just kind of be a part of and being we were 23, 24.
Wow.
So it was just it was a really fun time to just kind of be in a van across the country.
Wow, man, it's just so neat to me, We got so much to talk about here.
I know.
This show is jam packed. Hey, we have a celebrity on with us right now, Adam Lee Decker, and something I like to do early on in the show is I like to open up the phone lines. Like, so if you hear something that you want to talk about, if you're listening, you can go ahead and call in. That number is 919-899-9305. If we're not playing the music, you can call in and you can talk to us. You got a celebrity right here that's waiting to hear from you and ask them about America's Got Talent. I'm just interested in that right now. So we're going to park it for just a second. You said that you had a song queued up from that era of your life, right?
Yeah, exactly. So like the song that got us to the top 20, we did a Michael Jackson cover of The Way You Make Me Feel. And I think you got that. If you want to show everybody what that sounds like, it's definitely like it's a different approach than what you're used to. It's a little more funky, but again, all vocals, no instruments.
Oh well, this one I had the Billie Jean, but I don't have The Way You Make Me Feel queued up right this moment. Let's see if we can get that one in a little bit.
Okay,
we'll come back to that one.
So Billie Jean is again more reality television. In 2012, I was on season 11 of American Idol, and this is the song that I would have sang for the next top 20.
Yeah, I was listening to that Billie Jean cut last night. We're gonna get to it in a second. I was listening to that Billie Jean cut last night, and it showed me a different side of you.
Yeah.
It showed me so I like watching The Voice, right? I was watching The Voice that's on now, and I equate things to like how many chairs would turn. I'm listening to a song. I'm like, how many chairs would turn? And I looked over, and I was like, oh, this would be a 4-chair.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Thanks.
I'm not a judge or anything like that. I listen to music, but I was like, oh wow, this could go.
Yeah,
this could go. Yeah, man. I like hearing different sides of people's voices, and I like hearing different ranges. And you have a range, my friend. You have a range. Let's see if we can get this cut back in here. We've already precursored it. Let's see if we can get it back going. I don't know. Let's come back to that one as well. It's in here. Our engineer is queuing it up for us right now. I appreciate you, Stephen. Hey, if you don't have a good engineer on your side, I don't know what you're doing with your life right now. So
agreed.
Yeah, we got an engineer in the background. He's listening to me right now, and he's getting this Billie Jean cover queued up for us to play. And I am appreciating Stephen for saving us right now. But while he's getting that going, so we have America's Got Talent. but you kind of gave a little nugget.
Another nugget.
Which goes right in line with what we were about to do.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? What was that nugget?
Yeah, I went to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in 2012, and got all the way down to the top 40 of American Idol back in 2000.
Of American Idol.
Season 11, yeah.
Season 11, American Idol. Adam Lee Decker is here with us. This is crazy. So what makes you, what made you try out, or how did you kind of get to that place?
Yeah. So, like I said, moving down here 2008, when music started going here too, you know, like I was uprooting from home and just kind of establishing myself. I've always been somebody that has been able to work and do what I need to do to be able to do music. So I was doing I've always been an avid bartender and like, you know, just good at the social aspect of that piece.
Yeah.
To the point where that actually helped me find now my wife Misha. I actually met her while working.
There goes the wife now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, a couple of years go by and just like we're kind of establishing our relationship, and you know, she know, because music had been going on, but I kind of had fallen on the back seat a little bit, just, you know, with the development of our relationship and just, you know, things in general. And she was like, you know, you should definitely audition for Idol. And I was like, well, why don't we make kind of an adventure of it? So like she went out with me and all that stuff, and we kind of made it kind of like our, like just kind of almost a vacation together, and just, you know, like just so much excitement for, you know, like the 8-9 month run that I was a part of it. So
shout out to the wife.
Exactly.
Shout out to the wife.
Yeah, I think they're listening right now too. So.
Yeah. Shout out to the wife. Man, so you got America's Got Talent, you got American Idol. I think we have this track, this Billie Jean track, ready to play. It's Adam Lee Decker, a cover of Billie Jean, Michael Jackson. Let's go ahead and get that going.
There you go.
She was more like a beauty queen from a movie scene. Said, I don't mind, but what do you mean? I am the one who will dance on the floor and around. She said, I am the one who will dance on the floor and around. She said her name was Billie Jean as she caused a scene. Then every head turned with eyes that dreamed of being the one who will dance on the floor and around. People always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. And mother always told me, be careful who you love. Be careful what you do before the lie becomes the truth. Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one, but the kid is not my son. She says I am the one, but the kid is not my son. 40 days and 40 nights, the law was on her side. But who can stand when she's in demand? Her schemes and her plans. 'Cause we danced on the floor in the round. So take my strong advice. Remember to always think twice. Do think twice. She told my baby we danced till 3, then she looked at me, showed a photo, my baby cried her eyes were like mine as we danced on the floor and around. People always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. Then she stood right by me, the smell of a sweet perfume is happening much too soon. She called me to a room. Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one. But the kid is not my son. She says I am the one. But the kid is not my son. So take my advice and remember to always think twice. Do think twice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was Adam Lee Decker's Billie Jean cover. And like I said, I was listening to that yesterday, and I was, you were going up there and, all around. I liked it, man.
Shout out to Chris Cornell for sure.
Yeah, that's one of those ones. So we got the Billie Jean cover where you're giving us a little bit of that soul right there. And so what kind of goes next for you? After you have that phase of America's Got Talent, American Idol, you're down here. Where are you going?
Yeah, we're kind of jumping around a little bit. So this is past, but going back to coming down here and being a part of this whole situation, and just like moving to North Carolina, just like uprooting myself and rerouting somewhere else. And during the time of just the reconfiguration and figure out what's going on, I kind of fell across a bunch of guys that I met in a metal band. I had I've always loved metal music as well as besides electronic and kind of everything in between. I kind of had this opportunity to develop a scream and develop my sound and just kind of develop this, new piece that I had never even thought about doing at all. And, it was really exciting.
Yeah. So it's interesting. So, if you're listening out there and you've been listening to the show a little bit, I've had some jazz musicians on. I've had a couple hip hop musicians on. And we always get to this point. We always talk about, loving different types of music. And we go to metal, right? And I listen to it, but sometimes I can't understand it.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday at work, and they're always trying to educate me on the difference between hard metal, punk metal, rock metal.
Well, there's just so many. There's so many. Like, it's kind of like electronic too. There's like, there's so many kinds of dub. There's so many kinds of rock. There's so many kinds of, all the step stuff. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. So there's prog rock. There's prog rock. There's Christian rock. There's down tempo rock. And then deciphering how many, like, what metal is, what old metal is. It's just, there's probably 25 to 30 genres out there of,
And is this something that you not necessarily sang all the time, but were listening to as a child, or you just kind of
child actually? Like, so my one of my boys in my a cappella group kind of was into metal, and I just kind of like started to kind of hearing it and seeing what it was about, and just being somebody who loves to drum as well, and just start to listen to drums and do all those things. Just really, really enjoyed what was happening there.
Yeah. Okay. So. That makes sense now. I've seen you around. So once again, you're local to the area. And any given night, you can catch Adam Lee Decker at an open mic night or a karaoke deal, something like that. And I've seen you around, and you're playing a percussion. So that kind of falls in line with that. Okay.
Yeah. I started doing open mics actually this year in January, and because I usually do shows, I usually have a trio. We're just kind of running the circuit and doing festivals and a lot of weddings and things like that.
Of course.
But I just started this open mic trend, and just meeting you and meeting a lot of great artists out there that have been able to start to collab with as well. So, yeah, good stuff.
Makes sense. So we're talking about rock, right? Metal.
Yeah,
Am I saying it right? Is it rock or is it metal? This is just going to
be this is your bit. Like, I think some would call this southern metal. Some would call this arena metal. Some would call
education. We get some education right now. Okay.
It's just metal music.
Yeah. Okay, well, so go ahead and intro. You got the controls over there. Let us know where we're about to go.
So this is a band called Casualty that I was in, and this song is called Beg For Me.
Let's go.
for you is pain, and your soul has gone away. The darkness has become your light. You're begging me to stay. Tell me you can't breathe, you can't even go to sleep, and now you're on your knees, beg for me. Tell me you can't breathe, you can't even go to sleep, and now you're on your knees, beg for me. The pain for you is so real, and all sanity is lost. You can't find your way back home. You're not alone. Tell me you can't breathe, you can't even go to sleep, and now you're on your knees, beg for me. Tell me you can't breathe, you can't even go to sleep, and now you're on your knees, beg for me. So now you're on your knees, looking up and crying, pleading for your salvation. Tell me you can't breathe, you can't even go to sleep, and now you're on your knees, beg for me. Without me you can't breathe, you can't even go to sleep, and now you're on your knees, so you beg for me.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So, yeah,
sir.
like I said, that was a moment in time. Sorry, Mom, if you're listening. But like it was really fun to make that music. It was really fun to be a part of that music.
So how long did that time frame last for you?
You know, it was under a year. Just because other things were moving along, and then I wanted to be a part of it. And just local metal at the time wasn't necessarily I wasn't necessarily. I mean, shout out to Casualty, they're great, but it wasn't necessarily like gonna go to another place. You know, it was kind of like, it was a kind of a landing point for me to be able to like develop something I'd never developed and kind of open things up. It actually helped my stage presence actually the most, which is crazy because I went from an a cappella group, right, to a metal band.
Yeah, were you just kind of front and center for that one? Were you playing an instrument during the metal days?
No, it was just that was just me singing. Wow. That was just me standing up and running around and having a good time.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Well, you're running all across the stage and doing the jumping up and down and the
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it.
Exactly.
I love it. Hey, we have Adam Lee Decker in the studio with us right now. We're listening to some music and kind of going through his timeline of things. If you're listening in and you got any questions for him, the phone lines are open once again. That's 919-899-9305. I'm sure he'd like to hear from you. It's not often you get a celebrity that you have access to like this, you know?
Man, I appreciate that. I'm just glad to be a part of this community and just hanging out and being a part of the Canes community and North Carolina. And I love it here.
No, we're glad to have you. We kind of touched on something. We're looking for that track now. We kind of touched on something that I want you to talk about just a little bit.
Sure.
Is you said you do festivals and things like that, but like I said, I've met you at some open mic night type deals. What do you have going on there? What kind of started that for you? Where are you playing at, or where's that happening?
So as far as open mics go, like I'm running a couple. You can see in Durham I got 2 going. One is at Growler Girls. That's Growler and then GRLZ. Right on Hope Valley. They've been great to me for about. I mean, it's coming on 10 years real soon, but I've been playing there, and, they started running open mics, and Heather Rogers, shout out to Heather, she actually did it last year, and then she had some things change, and, Karen Poulsen, the owner, she was like, what do you want to run them? I'm like, well, I'm not, like, I can play a little bit of piano, and I'll bring a keyboard, and then I play my djembe. And I'd like, for my shows, I actually add some cymbals to it too, but I just keep it with the tambourine and the djembe for the open mics, because I'm actually working on the.
You said djembe. No,
djembe.
Yeah. What is that?
Sure.
Educate the people a little bit.
Absolutely. So, I don't play a traditional kit. What I do is I play what's called it's a djembe. It's African based. But it's kind of a synthetic guy that I'm able to work with my hands and mic correctly to make it kind of sound like a kit. But I've been playing that since 2013.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you take the djembe out and you said Growler Girls is one place. Do you do any?
That's first and third Wednesdays.
First and third Wednesdays. Growler Girls in Durham. Correct.
Yeah, spot right across the way, 94th Street Pub. We actually I do that every second and fourth Thursdays. So we try to separate that up, but like. We have a great community that just comes and hangs out. Keyboard players, violinists come, comedians, spoken word stuff.
Wow, so it's literally an open mic.
It's an open mic. If you want to come sing karaoke, I can cue that up to you. It's kind of just an open mic and open jam. Also, shout out to Defara Pizza Tavern in Cary. I do every last Tuesday there as well.
Okay, so I always like to make sure that the people hear you correctly. So let's Growler Girls.
Sure, Growler Girls is first and third Wednesdays.
First and third Wednesdays.
From 7 to 10.
It's from 7 to 10. Yep. Growler Girls, keep going.
Across the way is the 94th Street Pub every second and fourth Thursday of the month.
Okay.
That one's a little later. It's 10:30 to 12:30.
Oh, that's a special one.
Yeah. But you get a different crew. You get different people. And then on every last Tuesday is Difara, Difara Pizza Tavern. Some of the best pizza you can get. Actually, in the state, Brooklyn style.
Brooklyn style pizza. Okay.
They got the water machine right there, like from Brooklyn. Like it's really good, man.
And really good. Any covers or anything for these places?
Nope. Just come on in. Bring your bring. I mean, you probably got to buy, get a beverage or something to eat, obviously. But just come on in and come play. And we can collaborate and have a good time.
Wow. See, accessibility. Oh, we might have a caller. Let's see what's going on here.
Sure.
Hello, caller. You are on the air. Hello. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
This is Teresa McCarty.
Hi, Teresa McCarty. Thank you for calling in. And just in case you don't know, this is the RDU Live Show, and I'm your host, Cameron McCarty. We have Adam Lee Decker in the studio with us. We're just kind of talking about music and his journey and what he's doing. So, hey, what made you want to call in today?
Well, I was watching. I don't know. I missed the very beginning, but I wanted to know. He mentioned he loves North Carolina. So, are you a native of North Carolina, or where are you originally from? And then, if you're not, what brought you to the area? Yeah,
sure. I appreciate you asking that. So we touched on that a little bit in the beginning. So originally from Syracuse, New York, I moved down here in 2008, and and have just claimed this place as my own. Like I got a wife and kids here now. I live in Durham, and just happy to be here. But I moved down in 2008.
Real quick, real quick before we keep going with that, we were talking about his wife earlier. Actually, is she from North Carolina? Or
she actually isn't either. She's from Sarasota, Florida.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So
everybody's transplant.
Yeah. She got her doctorate from Duke and in the early 2000s, and has been one of the best physical therapists locally, Pilates-based physical therapists in the region. Shout out to Inside Out Body Therapies right on Fayetteville Street in Durham. They're actually going on 20 years this year.
Wow. Wow. So
Okay, I got one more question.
Sure.
Oh yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. You started naming several instruments that you play. Am I correct? What all do you play, and do you come from a musical family?
Yeah, it's a great question. So my dad, well, like he's a hardworking man. He definitely can rock a Randy Travis track all day. He's got that all day. My mother was actually a jazz singer locally. She's been doing a lot of them. Yeah, so kind of got the chops from both of them. But they've supported me in everything that I'm doing and musically, and have been kind of my biggest fans for what's going on. So great question.
Are they up in New York? Still up in New York?
Yeah. They're up near. They're actually up in a small town place called Homer, New York.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a good little spot. But a little piano. Again, I've started the djembe in 2013 and kind of turned that into something that sounds like a full kit. I add cymbals to it and all that. The evolution of that we can talk to a little bit. But yeah, and then like I said, a little bit of keys. But I'm kind of vocal first.
Okay, now you said something I'm pretty foreign to. You said the djembe, but then you said it sounds like you said full kit? Or what am I missing?
Sorry, a full kit, like kind of like a full drum kit, you know?
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Okay,
So
got it.
I kind of make it sound like a full
okay.
drum kit. I can't play a full drum kit. I can't do anything with my feet.
Okay.
I'm not great with my feet.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Got it. Okay. Well, that was great. Thank you. And that Billie Jean, I like that. That was good.
I'm glad you like that. We're probably going to start playing that again for my trio shows anyway. So go ahead and check us out. It's Adam Lee Decker on Facebook, Adam Lee Decker Music on Instagram and tweets. And come on out.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for calling in.
Okay. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Solid question.
Solid
person.
question.
Kind human, right? You felt like she's like a great person.
Yeah. Thank you for calling in. Once again, those phone lines are still open. We're not playing music. We're taking phone calls. That's 919-899-9305. We got Adam Lee Decker here with us. This is the RDU Live Show on Oak 93.5 WRLY. And we're just having a conversation. We had some good questions just come in. We're finding out, he's a celebrity. He's a man of the people. He's doing things in the community. And he's human, he's his family. We're finding a lot out about Adam Lee Decker. And he's a celebrity, but actually his wife is the celebrity of the family we're learning now. She's the operation of the whole thing.
She's the reason I'm able to do what I'm doing. So.
Yeah, we're talking about Duke and doctorates and stuff. I think, do we have the right person on the show today?
Yeah, you're probably not. Like as far as the IQ level's definitely gone. Like you get her up here, it's gonna go way up. So but yeah.
No, this is great stuff. This is great stuff. So. Musical instruments. We're talking about, the djembe from the conversation of you, doing the open mics and the jam sessions. I actually saw some clips of you, kind of just doing my research, some clips of you at the Hurricanes intermission with your trio doing the djembe kind of deal.
Yeah, the intermission stuff.
The intermission stuff. Mm-hmm. And so is that trio, is that the same members of the trio?
Yeah. So basically, like, it's. So the trio is always a trio. There's definitely some rotation because everybody I'm working with is definitely like doing their own thing musically and also doing other bands and stuff like that. So I got a group of 8 guys that can fill in the trio stuff, and some of them can turn over from guitar to bass.
Well, that's what I was about to ask. What kind of parts to the trio do you usually have?
Sure. Yeah. It's usually it's usually 3 part. Like 3 part. Everybody can do everybody has a lead voice. And then everybody can, and then you got harmonies on that. Then you got bass, drums, and vocals. So I mean, we are small but mighty as far as what we have to offer and how we do it. And
since we're just here, just for the moment, just to kind of stay on it just for a second, you kind of mentioned at the top of the show you play festivals. So where can they find this trio at? If you're looking for the music, looking to see you live, looking to hear you.
Yeah. So we just actually played the Fall Into Local Festival. That was down at Dorothy Dix Park.
Yeah.
We just did that this past weekend, and then we actually ran out to Real Cafe over in Wilmington and did kind of one of their seasonal band nights, and just like that. That's a real cool spot in Wilmington. But back to local stuff, you can kind of check it out because I'll usually post what we're doing on Instagram or Facebook, and then. Still working on the website. The website, we got to polish him up a little bit, but just trying to keep the dates on the local social medias so everybody can stay informed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So festivals. So I always like to recap as we go because I always want to refresh. If you weren't listening, at the top of the show, or you're listening now when we're kind of moving too fast, we got Adam Lee Decker with us, and he sings the national anthem at various places. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into to that. Sing the national anthem. You can see him there. He has a trio. And you can see them at the different places locally, different festivals and things like that. But you can also catch him at, your local pubs, i.e. your Growler Girls or your 94th Street pub. If you just kind of want to shake his hand and say, hey, and maybe jam a little bit with him. And maybe jam
work
a little
together,
bit with him.
Let's work together, man.
Yeah, and collab. That's actually how we met. Actually how we met. I think it was over at the 94th Street pub.
It was. And
I actually live over in that area. And so that's kind of one of my local spots, and just to kind of give everybody a little idea, just walked up to him and said, hey, how you doing? And we had a conversation. Very personable.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I always appreciate that, and I actually didn't know that he had been on America's Got Talent and American Idol and all of that when we first started talking.
Yeah, I think it was just about probably the Carolina hurricane stuff, I imagine.
Yeah. It was just the hurricane stuff, and then you kind of dive deeper and go, oh wow, this guy actually has been doing some stuff for a long time. So if you weren't at the top of the show, we started this conversation, in time back in 2007.
Yeah.
Back in 2007.
Yeah.
Back in 2007.
Yeah.
So you've been at this for a long time. And hence why you have so many, the trio, the jam sessions, the anthem. You've put together a body of work, man.
Kind of the evolution of what I've done musically, it kind of started in church and then started, with like in school and that kind of stuff. And then, just kind of falling into a cappella. It's kind of it sounds terrible, but just kind of falling into places like, and then obviously getting there and then performing and then doing the things you need to do to, maintain and survive through that place. But yeah, it's, we started a cappella and then, started with the drum stuff, and now we can, one of my favorite things to do is a lot of people trust us, and like with their wedding day, we'll walk them down the aisle with some fantastic, basically like your ceremony, your cocktail, and your reception. They're very different dynamic pieces of the day, and the fun when a couple trusts us to like carry that through the day. And just do that. And, the fee is the fee. And then what we do is we say, what music do you want for the day? And my crew is smart enough to just learn that music for what they want. And then we'll incorporate some things as far as medleys goes and just keep the party alive, but also just keep it moving.
Yeah.
And then, and then if there's like original songs that you have, we'll learn them too, as far as that goes.
Wow.
Or, I'll help collab. And, one of the open mic people actually was getting married, and she was like, oh, I really want to record this. We only have a month. And I'm like, yeah, we could probably get that done. She's like, no way. And then we actually were able to do that with a more crew that I've met through, just being local and being on just around and hanging out.
Wow. So you just kind of unfolded something right there in itself. So you have the trio that you can see at a festival, but you also do weddings, parties, or anything like that.
Yeah, corporate and private parties, very much so. Yeah, we're going to be doing we definitely have a lot of good private things coming up. One of the ones I want to talk about a little bit is we're going to be doing Friendsgiving support for a place at the table. I don't know if you've heard of Place at the Table.
I haven't. What exactly is that?
We all know. Basically, it's a good nonprofit that is kind of giving back to the community as far as just for Thanksgiving, and just basically the local food, help me out, the
food bank kind of deal,
kind of things, and they raise money to be able to kind of
just help out in the community.
Yeah. Food banks actually they end up kind of making events at the table, just people can come eat and things like that
yeah.
So
they do once again the food bank type deal. They have it where the community members can come in and get a free meal.
Exactly.
Kind of buffet style. Kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
which
is a good give back to the communities and all that too. So
I haven't heard of them. So what's that name again?
Yeah, it's A Place at the Table.
A Place at the Table.
Which is a great name. I mean, that's just
right. I mean,
you know.
And that's local to Raleigh in the Triangle? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So check them out. They're great. So those kinds of things, you know, like I said, I'll have a... so do we have any NC State fans in the building?
Oh,
if we do or not.
Yeah, in the building. I'm an NC State alum.
Fair enough. Exactly. We've been, I don't know if you know, but they have the music before the games. They have a couple spots. The one right in front of right in front of PNC Arena. And then the Raleighwood area. They also have the music there too. Yeah. And I'm going to be playing 2 more times there, which I'm excited to be a part of. It's going to be on we're doing the 25th of November when they're playing UNC, and that's the Saturday night, probably night game. And then the next one is going to be that October 28th showdown against, I forget who they're playing on the 28th, but we're going to be playing that as well. Who do they play on the 28th? I'm going to look. But yeah, like so you know, part of the football community. We also do a tailgate town for Campbell University out in Lillington as well. Wow. Yeah, so we're going to be doing that. I think.
It looks like October 28th is Clemson.
Yeah. That's a pretty big game for
it's a pretty big game
locally. So like, and I'm a huge football fan, huge avid football fan.
Nice.
Got a huge fan, huge love for state, and just like combining it together, I get to play music and watch football. It's kind of like a match made in heaven, you know, for me personally.
Yeah. Same here, man. You're killing it. And speaking of football, we hadn't said it, but you football and NCAA and, you know, college, you do the anthem at the Canes, but you've also done anthems at other places, right?
So yeah, coming off Idol, I was able to, I looked at the date and I was like, no way. I was given the opportunity to sing that Duke UNC game at Cameron Indoor.
Wow.
In 2012.
That's gotta be a rush.
It was a rush. And right at the end, ESPN was like, okay, we're going live. And they handed me a second mic. I don't know if you've tried to hold on to 2 mics in one hand before.
Yeah.
And I got pretty big hands, which is good, but there was like some like, you know, I wasn't like a seasoned anthem singer yet like I am now. You know, I mean, that was 2012. I started with the Canes and 2017,
so that was like
you know, I had done it for various things, but I mean that was like that was some energy right there.
Wow,
you know, that was fun.
How is that, man? You know, like you know, stepping out there. Do you warm up your throat or anything? Or you just kind of go.
There's definitely a ritual of you know, just kind of getting it together. I always have my Vocal Zone. Shout out to Vocal Zone. Little throat lozenges.
Okay.
And they kind of keep me right because, you know, we're coming from humid air outside. We're in North Carolina. It's warm a lot of the times.
Yeah.
And then we're going into like a cool, dry place. Yeah. And vocally, you know, if you've ever sang before, I imagine. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It really changes what you got going on vocally. Yeah. So you got to try to figure out where that is.
Yeah.
You know, keep your just keep your mentality kind of focused and relaxed, and you know. All that stuff can affect your throat too.
Question for that then: is there a different ritual for when you're on the ice versus whether you're in Cameron Indoor for a basketball game?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, there's more of a normal routine for the ice because, like, I do more of those during the year.
Yeah.
But you know, there used to be a lot of pre-stress. For it, and like again, doing the playoffs for the past 5 years has really helped. You know, because the energy in that building, man,
it's rocking.
It gets crazy,
you know. Especially last year, man. Last year, the energy was crazy.
It was finally back to when, you know, we hosted. Like I remember the scariest moment from an anthem for me was when they hosted Game 3, 2017, 2018, and that was Game 3 against the Caps. And that was the first time the Canes had been in the playoff in a long time. And just that energy in that building, I was like, okay, this is a new high.
Yeah.
you know?
Shout out to the Canes, because that's the expectation this year. That's the expectation right now. And wow, and correct me if I'm wrong, you've done the Panthers as well.
So after after a good run with the first year with the Canes, and you know, my team being like, hey, we'll see you next year. I'm like, yes, okay, good. We're gonna keep doing this. I was able to take some of the tape that they gave me and send it to Charlotte, and I was able to get week 4 against the Bengals when the Panthers played the Bengals. You know, and Cam Newton and Andy Dalton were in 2018. They were both, doing a great job for their squads. Those are good squads.
That was a good year.
Yeah,
that was a good year. Hey, we're still in Carolina. Hey, if you're a Panthers fan, I understand. I understand your pain right now. We're gonna get there. But that particular year was a good year.
Yeah, it was a good year. It was a good year for sure. Yeah, and then I actually did one last year. It was actually one of the wins they got last year too. Against watching. This was cool because I did week 7 last year. When, when Tom Brady was taking his last tour. So, yeah, and the Panthers won.
Do you ever get to like hobnob with any of the athletes or anything? Or you're kind of in and out, before anything really happens?
Like definitely around the NFL professionals, like you're definitely around a team.
Yeah,
so you're definitely like so like if you can shout out and say hello and all that stuff, but they try to keep that. They just try to keep the entity of like the entertainment piece of the whole thing kind of separate. Just
I imagine that might be different with the Canes since you're more of a mainstay now kind of deal.
It's funny. There's been a lot of opportunity. I've met a couple of great companies. Shout out to WEI Technology Systems. They've been great to me, and they're always welcoming me in their box and like having a good time. And but yeah, so like trying to find have you met all the players? Well, no. Like I truth be told, I haven't. It's not that I haven't wanted to. I just haven't really asked. I've just come and done my thing. Yeah. And been a good community member there and just appreciated because I love hockey too. Yeah. I grew up watching the Cornell Big Red. Now that's ECAC hockey. Shout out to them as well.
You're a true fan.
Exactly. Yeah. So and what's great is their pep band, right? Yeah. They're amazing. Liner Rink's an incredible experience. If you can ever get up there, but every time they and the Rockets red, like everybody screams red there.
Yeah.
So like they're the Cornell Big Red. So I'm 10 years old, 8 years old, 5 years old, listening to that. So like when that happens around when I hit that, it kind of there's this like
nostalgia.
I get thrown back like onto those bleachers in Liner Rink, and I just feel like a kid. It's awesome.
It's got to be good. Now we're learning. You love hockey and you get to sing the anthem. You're on the ice. That's got to be a good feeling, man.
It's really fun.
Got to be a good feeling.
And I've been really accepted. Like with the anthems and all that, just bottom line, this is a business where you get hate mail in general.
Right.
And somebody will take the time to come out and, like shoot me an email, like it was the worst one we've ever heard. You're a disgrace to the nation, like all that kind of stuff. Like, and those are difficult, but, after year 3, I was like, all right, this is going to be something that just happens. This is part of the deal. You're not going to please everybody, which is fine. But the fun thing is, there's a lot of people that do come up and they're like really happy and they're like, oh man, you're singing tonight. You're our good luck charm. Like it's you. Like we need you. Like I'm like, this is great. It's just fun and I truly love it. I'm so happy and so thankful.
I can only imagine, man. I can only imagine. But look, we're at our time right now. Man, we're having such a good conversation. It kind of ran away from us.
That's how it goes.
But that's how it goes. Hey, this has been the RDU Live Show. We've had Mr. Adam Lee Decker on with us today. Man, I appreciate you so much for being on with us.
Thank you.
Hey, this is Cameron McCarty, your host. We're on every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. Hey, like I like to say, let's go live.
From Linwood, this is WRLYLP Raleigh.